I spent decades being told that I'm too serious. As a little girl, my mom would tell me that I was too serious. As an adult, people have told me, you're too serious. Lighten up. Maybe that's true. Perhaps that's true because I can think of many meaningless things that I've given importance. But I have learned some things along the way, and that's what I want to share with you today. It's one of the things that I learned on a quiet trail along Kentland Lake in Glacier National Park. It was a 5-second interaction with a complete stranger, with an older woman, and it completely rewired about the way I look at my life. People tell me that I seem happier since moving to Montana, and that's absolutely true. It feels like I have finally come home after a long absence. I tell everybody I feel like I belong here. In fact, sometimes I have even said, I wonder if I was a pioneer in a previous life because I really do feel like I belong here. The natural beauty here makes it so easy to connect with something deeper, whether I'm sitting by a stream, a lake, or standing atop a mountain. I can really get lost in a daydream of just wonderment, just appreciating my surroundings. But the truth be told, nature doesn't just offer an escape, it acts as a mirror for me. And if I'm open and I observe and appreciate, sometimes the simplest things, the most ordinary, can become extraordinary. So on this walk in Kentland Lake, my family and I caught up with this older woman and her son. And her son appeared to have some challenges. They were moving slower than we were. They were walking along slower than we were, and they graciously stepped aside to let us pass. That's the hiker's policy. If you're going slower than the people behind you, you step aside and let them pass. So we exchanged quick pleasantries. Hello, how are you? How's it going? That sort of thing. And then I looked at her face, and she had the most genuinely cheerful expression. And as I looked at this woman and our eyes met, something clicked inside of me. It wasn't that I was feeling sad before, but her face reminded me to be of good cheer. And admittedly, I'm not a person that somebody would say is always cheerful. I'm not a real wake up sunny disposition type of person. So seeing that cheerful expression on her face really hit me deeply because I was thinking about she was this older woman with an older son. I believe it was her son. I'm pretty sure that it was her son who had challenges. And here she was with this cheerful expression on her face. And I began to think about how so many of us can be fraught with challenges and not handle them with such good cheer. So I realized in a split second, in that split second, just looking at that sweet woman, I realized that life's challenges aren't really roadblocks. They're just opportunities, opportunities for us to practice and improve our character. So for the remainder of the hike, I began to think about my own life and all of the little minor things that have frustrated me. And in that moment, I suddenly felt incredibly small. My thoughts immediately turned to gratitude. It was one of those aha moments when I started thinking about all of the little things that irritate me. And I thought to myself, I don't have any reason to be frustrated and irritated. my thoughts immediately turn to the gratitude, all of the things that I have to be grateful for. And this can happen a lot of times out in nature. Getting back to nature can give us balance, and it forces us to slow down enough to look at our true selves. When we stop rushing and when we discover the immense richness of life that's hidden in all of these little simple things, the flower, the butterfly, the clouds, the passing cheerful smile of a stranger on a trail, all of those heart-shaped, does that make a heart? All of those, there we go, all of those heart-shaped stones in nature or in everyday things that we see. If we just observe these things, if we're just open to seeing all of these beautiful things around us, the ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. I don't know if you guys have ever read on Walden Pond, but Henry David Thoreau wrote in his book Walden, "A lake is the landscape's most beautiful and expressive feature. It's the earth's eye, looking into which the beholder measures the depth of his own nature." Kintla Lake is truly magnificent. If you ever have the opportunity to visit Kintla Lake, I wholeheartedly recommend it. But in that day, its true magic was showing me my own reflection. And I guess I want to share with you that we don't really need a big, huge, massive mountain range to find this perspective, because it is in everyday little things. If we just step aside, look up, and remember to be of good cheer. That's what that day reminded me, to just step aside, look up, and be of good cheer. Now, retirement can give us the time that we always wanted. People are always wanting that extra time. When I retire, I'm going to have all of that time. And I do feel busy in retirement. I'm not bored. I feel like I'm busy. I feel like I have things to do. I feel like there are productive things that fulfill my days. But learning to slow down and find peace is a daily practice. It's something that I think we can learn to do. We can slow down, we can appreciate, we can find peace in our surroundings. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What is the one thing that you've learned to let go in this chapter of your life? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this reflection, please subscribe. We're building a community here that's focused on mindful living in retirement, with the appreciation that there is more to retirement than just the money. Till next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and trust your retirement journey. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Take care. I'm Marlene with Rebel Retirement, and I'll see you next time. Hey, you guys, please take a look around my channel. I have hundreds of videos on topics including Social Security, Medicare, how to get out of debt, pros and cons of moving, relationship issues, health topics, and more. And all of these videos are based on my experience and what I have learned in retirement. And I know that many people are worried about money in retirement, and this is exactly why Rebel Retiree and I created our just-in-time retirement series. And it's absolutely free, you guys, so it doesn't hurt to take a look at it. It's a mindset-based retirement planning strategy that eliminates waste and aligns your finances with your goals and values. With continuous improvement, you free up your resources to create an abundant retirement lifestyle. So I recommend viewing the playlist on this channel. And to get the full picture, visit our website, rebelretirement.com. And if you are nearing retirement and worried about your financial future, you're going to get a whole different viewpoint. See for yourself at rebelretirement.com.